Hello, everyone. In continuation to our research methods topic, here we will understand what is the criteria to be adopted while designing effective questions. Basically, we'll understand the do's and do nots. Designing effective questions for surveys, questionnaires, or interviews requires careful consideration of various criteria to ensure. First one is clarity, then relevance. It means clarity in the sense it should be very clear and it should be relevant to the topic what we are asking questions, and the ability to obtain actionable insights. So based on that, we are going to take some actions. So your if question should be effectively framed in such a way that we get this insights. Clarity in questions. Use clear and straightforward language to avoid any misunderstanding. Means better to avoid certain technical terms or technical jargon which the respondents might not understand. Ensure questions are specific and unambiguous. It should not create any confusion. For example, initially you made a question like, what is your opinion on the ecological impact of urban sprawl? Everybody may not understand the wordings here, ecological or sprawl, urban sprawl. So rather of asking like this, we may better modify it as, do you think building more houses in cities is good or bad for the environment? Like that, it will be much more clearer and it will not confuse the respondent. Relevance and brevity in questions. Means the questions should be, whatever questions which are framed should be related to the topic and it should be brief. Questions should be relevant to the survey's objectives and the respondent's experience. We should not include questions that do not serve the survey's purpose. Keep questions short and to the point. Avoid any double-barreled questions. Means, here one example is given. Do you find the app useful and easy to use? Some respondents may find the app useful, but it may not be easy to use, or some may find it easy to use, but the app may not be useful to them. So it is better to split this into two questions like, do you find the app useful? One question. Do you find the app easy to use as another question? So do not ask two questions in one single question. That is avoiding double-barreled questions. Neutrality. Avoid leading questions. Means framing questions in such a way which is not a neutral question and it may lead the respondent towards expecting a particular answer. Means ensure questions are neutral and do not lead the respondent towards a particular answer. For example, how much did you enjoy our amazing new product? Here you may notice the word amazing is being added. That means you are expecting a positive response from the respondent. Here the word amazing suggests that the respondent should have enjoyed the product, potentially influencing the response to be more positive. Instead, we can very well ask, how would you rate your experience with our new product? That becomes a neutral question. This version of this question removes any positive or negative inferences, allowing the respondent to provide a more unbiased and honest answer. Balanced response options will provide, always provide balanced answer choices that do not imply a correct answer. Like Likert scale and all these things can be used where you have a balanced answer options available. Avoid ambiguity in questioning. For example, how often do you visit Pizza Hut? Never, occasionally, sometimes, often, regularly. Here you may notice the options except for the first option, never. Other options, everybody will have a different meaning. For me, occasionally, maybe once in a fortnight. For you, occasionally, maybe week. Sometimes often, regularly, all these things are ambiguous. The choices given above are ambiguous. So rather, the question can be modified as below to avoid ambiguity. That is, in a typical month, how often do you visit Pizza Hut? Less than once, 1 to 2 times, 3 or 4 times, more than 4 times. So like that, if we ask, it will be clear to the respondent and also clear to you also while analyzing. Answerability in questions. Always we ensure the knowledge of the respondent, that he is knowledgeable to answer certain questions. Only those questions needs to be asked. Only ask questions that the respondents are likely to know the answer to. Respect privacy means avoid any overly personal or sensitive questions unless necessary and ensure confidentiality. Avoid loaded questions. Don't assume anything and then ask questions. It is essential to frame questions in a neutral manner without making assumptions about the respondent's behavior, opinions, or circumstances. Comprehensive response options and appropriateness means when we create the questions, include all possible response options. If you are not clear about it, then add other category. So it becomes exhaustive classes or exhaustive options available. Mutually exclusive. Ensure that response options do not overlap. Use consistent scales like 1 to 5 rating if you are using. Everywhere you use that scale only throughout so that you avoid any confusion. Logical order and pre-test or pilot testing. Arrange questions in a logical sequence starting from general to specific. Cluster similar topics together to maintain respondent focus. Conduct a pre-test or a pilot survey to identify and rectify potential issues, if any. Use feedback from the pre-test so that you can refine or modify your questions.